Don't let people gaslight you. If you think or if you know that there's something wrong with you and your body and your physiology, and you've known it all your life, don't let people tell you that it's not real. Like, I've always known all my life that there's, like, not consciously, but I've always like had an underlying understanding subconsciously that there's something wrong with this body. And like, that's always just manifested as like anxiety, like hypochondria, or like just worrying, like thinking I'm gonna have a heart attack, thinking I'm gonna have a brain tumor or a stroke or whatever. And all my life I've taken these anxieties to doctors, family, friends, and all of them all have said every time, "Oh, stop worrying. There's nothing wrong with you." But they're wrong. There was something very wrong with me. And if you know that there's something wrong with you, don't let, even if 1,000 people are telling you that there's not, and you know, like, it's very easy to go to the doctor with a problem and for the doctor to do some tests and look at you and say, look you dead in the eye and say, there's nothing wrong with you, you're okay. And you're like, okay, I guess I'm okay, the doctor said. So you just carry on with your life without, and then you sort of like push it to the back of your head, right? And that's just what we've all been trained and conditioned to do. But I'm here to tell you that there is something wrong. The problems are the diet, the mucoid plaque in the gut, the toxins in the body, and the atlas misalignment, which is the most important thing, has caused it so everybody's body, which is supposed to be completely aligned, has twisted itself up. And the only way I'm going to be able to, it's hard to convey this because all of the changes have happened like internally, but here is what it looked like. So on the left you can see what it looked like a couple of months ago, or what my body looked like, and on the right here is what it looks like now. So you can see how my body is realigning itself. And I've been using a very specific medicine which I don't think I can speak about on YouTube. But if you want to know what it is, just message me on Instagram and I'll tell you. And what that medicine does is nothing short of profound. And that's what I've been focused on these last 4, 5, 6 months, really, is untwisting my body. And my body, it feels like I've upgraded from a Toyota to a Lamborghini. That's how it feels with this body. Like the way that the breaths work now, and the way that I feel like I'm learning to walk again. But I want to show you what this medicine does. So I go deep into these like sessions, and internally and externally, my body throws itself into realignment. And here's a video of what it looks like. And as you can see in this video, my body is moving in all these ways, and I'm not consciously doing that. That's not me consciously doing that. That is this medicine and its effects. And you can see that the body is just untwisting, unwinding, and I've done probably close to 300 of those sessions. And each time I get like, it feels like a month or two's worth of realignment. So I've really like catapulted this forward. And the things that I'm noticing with the realignment is how twisted up everybody is. If everybody has an atlas misalignment, it's the topmost vertebrae in the spine, and it's misaligned in 100% of people born in the world today. And you can get it realigned. It's not invasive. It takes 10 minutes and then it's done forever. And then your body will realign itself. But without the use of this medicine I've been using, I'm not sure how profound the realignments are going to be. I've just accidentally discovered this medicine. So yeah, it's very interesting. But what I've come to notice is that everybody has this misalignment, and it affects the way that you breathe. So if your body is misaligned, you're not breathing directly into the places that you should be. So it allows us to eat things that we're not supposed to eat because we can't feel what they're doing to us. And if you were breathing directly into where you should be, you would feel what the food is doing to us and to you, and you wouldn't eat it because you'd be breathing into that place. And the breath is like an internal antenna. So the way that the controllers and the enslavers have convinced us to eat things that we shouldn't, and showed us that we can eat things that we shouldn't, like breads and meats and all of this, is they disconnected us from our breath. Because as the breath is like an internal antenna, if you don't have that antenna, you're not going to be able to feel things that you should be feeling. So your antenna is broken. That means you can eat things and stuff yourself up in ways that are unnatural. But once you get the body more into alignment, because in most people it's all twisted, you will feel these things more, and you can feel more what things are doing to you. You become so sensitive to what things are doing to you that you won't be able to do it. So if we weren't ever disconnected from our breath because of the atlas misalignment, we wouldn't have moved on to eat the being tricked into eating things we shouldn't. And that's what the problem is. So if you know that you've got a problem, it's because you have. It's not because you're anxious, because if you were aligned and eating the right things, you wouldn't be anxious. That's the thing. Anxiety comes from Anxiety just doesn't come from nowhere. Like you get told, oh, it's just you get made to feel like it's your fault or something. Like that you're the problem. Like your anxiety is some irrational thing that you shouldn't have, and you should shut up and just carry on with your life and eat a cheeseburger. It's good for you. We're going out for burgers. Just no, there is something wrong. You are correct, and you need to get your atlas in place. That's very important. Atlas Prophylax, it's called. I'll leave a link for the directory in the description of this video. And you need to clean the body out, like get all this waste out. Once you have those two things, everything will become so clear, or it becomes clearer as you go on. But it's just like there's no you're not ever going to be able to feel, you're not ever going to be able to know until you do those two things. You're going to have to rely on other people telling you stuff, like me telling you stuff, because you're not going to be able to discern it for yourself, because you're just so disconnected, like out of whack, just no idea. Like, oh, I think eating this giant loaf of bread is good for me because I don't feel the negative effects. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to feel it. So if you can't feel it, then how can you ever identify it? It's like you're not gonna, you can't notice a problem that you can't see, right? So yeah, these are the important things: the atlas and the cleaning out of the insides. They both sort of go hand in hand. You can't do one really without the other. I've met a guy who had his atlas in place, but because he didn't clean this out, he didn't get any of the realignments. They didn't. His body didn't realign. So you need to do both. It's a dedicated, and I'm not sure. It's probably better to. I don't know which one's better to do first, to be honest. Um, they're both equally important. You need to do both. Well, you don't need to do anything. You do what you want, but I highly recommend. And if you're watching my videos, it means you want to do that stuff. So, Atlas, fruit juice, happy days.